In this video I'm going to run SketchUp 2017 for the first time since I've installed it. I'm going to do that by clicking on the SketchUp 2017 icon. These ones for Layout and Style Builder I don't use, we don't need them at all, so just double click on the SketchUp icon and let it go. What comes up is your software end user license agreement. By all means go ahead and read it, but the usual thing, if you do not agree you will not be able to proceed, so you're going to have to tick the I agree to the SketchUp license agreement and press the continue button. Now I'm not quite sure what I'm going to find when I come up with SketchUp Make. This is the first time I've run it, but I have SketchUp 2016 already installed on the computer, and it might set things up for me. In the meantime, what does pop up is this window here. What it says, well, it tells me I'm offline. Don't know why, I am online, doesn't matter. It's got a button here for add license. If I were to license it, so I could do that. It's got a button here for choose template. We'll go through what that means in a minute. If I decide I'm in a rush, I can hit this button here that says start using SketchUp, and it won't let me. It has to choose a template. So I'm going to click this button to select a template. I could have clicked on there, I could have clicked on there. At this point I have to select a template. I have a range of templates available to me. It doesn't really matter which one we do. I'm going to be changing them later, and I have a video that deals with that for SketchUp 2016. If necessary, I'll create one for 2017 as well. In the meantime, we can simply take a simple template and we can set it to meters. Click Start using SketchUp. So you might need to wait a little while, but this is the window that will open. It took me a while to get it open here. What I see at the top here is I have a variety of menus. I have a menu bar up here, and we'll get used to those as you work through. And underneath we have a toolbar with a variety of functions that you can use for drawing. On the right we have what are called trays, and these give you different information about entity information, materials. You can close them off as you go along. Materials, components, close off, styles, shadows, and this instructor tool. So if you don't know what's going on with the tool, you can have the instructor tool open here in a toolbar. You could select, for instance, the line tool, and it'll tell you information about how to use the line tool. If you wanted to use the tape measure tool, it'll give you methods of using the tape measure tool. It's context sensitive help, and it can be useful. It's also fairly distracting, so I don't have it open much of the time at all. The toolbar that we have here is a little bit brief for my liking, so I want to change those. I'm going to come along here to, I think it's View, Toolbars, and this little window pops up. The toolbar that you see here is obviously this one called Getting Started. I don't like it, I switch it off. I switch on Large Tool Set, Layers, Measurements. Let me scroll down. I'm going to switch on Standard, Styles, and Views. I'm also going to click on the Options button here, and I'm going to make sure that the Large Icons button is ticked. They're a bit small on the resolution of the screen I have otherwise. If you've got a low resolution screen, then taking this away might be a good way to save yourself some space, but I like to have them large. Hit close. Now the arrangement of the toolbars is also something that I like to change. I like to have my standard toolbar. The next one I like to have is my styles. I then like to have my views. I like to have my layers. And I like to bring my measurements toolbar from the bottom right up here to the left. Now I can achieve this because I have a large screen with a high resolution. I have my large toolbar on the left here. This is the way I like to have my screen laid out. If you can't fit it all onto one page width or screen width like this, you may have to either have your measurements still at the bottom, or you might go to a second row of toolbars underneath here. It's up to you. Whatever you get used to, stick with that. This is what I'm used to, and it's what works for me. The other thing I look at here are these default trays. I showed you what they are: entity information, materials, components, styles, shadows, and instructor. Of these, the only one I ever really use is this one here called entity info. These ones here are not much use. I need to add some extras. So what I'm going to do is I come over to Tools. I have my default tray, and I can actually change what I show in my default tray. I could add extra ones if I wanted to. What I find is more useful is I come here and I click on Manage Trays. There's my default. But I can click on New, and I can title this Useful, because that's what I consider the trays that I'm going to use to be. As I said, I like to have entity information, layers, and scenes. That's all. I'm going to click Add. I'm going to click Close. Now what's happened is that the tabs have appeared at the bottom here. I still have the default tray. I can still go through the same trays that were there before. And that means that if I want to come back to styles, which I'll do in a different video to set up my workspace here, or if I want to get access to my instructor to get context sensitive help, it's available to me. But most of the time I'm going to have selected this button Useful. I'm going to have my entity information, my layers, and my scenes. I'm going to teach you how to use these, and this is all you really need. So that's the basic setup for the SketchUp operating environment within the window. Everything else is related to the actual model and the template that's in use. That's a separate video. I have one for SketchUp 2016. If it's any different for SketchUp 2017, I'll create another one for that as well. Otherwise, go have a look at the one for SketchUp 2016. It should do you just fine.